Hey there, this is Dr. Evan Osar with the Institute for Integrative Health and Fitness Education. Welcome to this edition of Integrative Movement Insider, and this is part 3 of a 4-part series on training your clients to have disc osteoarthritis, spinal osteoarthritis, and or spinal stenosis. And this information is so important because we have so many clients, especially if you're working with the baby boomer and senior population, that come to you and me as health and fitness professionals and looking for real strategies, helpful strategies that will help them safely and effectively accomplish their health and fitness goals. So I'm really glad that you joined me in this series because this information that we're sharing with you is the exact same information we teach our own clients and patients in our clinic. And I apologize for the lighting and the sound in this gym setting. I want to take advantage that it's kind of quiet right now in the gym before everybody gets up, so that way I can share this information with you before you get started with your day. Now, one of the things we talked about is that the difference between spinal stenosis and disc issues is disc issues generally don't respond well. Clients with disc issues don't respond well to prolonged flexion type positions. So prolonged sitting or bending forward or exercises like crunches. They generally do well with extension type positions. So cobras or McKenzie type positions. On the other side, your clients have osteoarthritic changes and or spinal stenosis generally don't do well with extension type positions. In fact, that position creates more issues, and that's why so many of your older clients are in that posterior pelvic tilted position and lumbar spine flex position, because they're trying to get away from spinal extension or that lordotic type position of the curve. However, the most important thing that I want you to get out of this series is that regardless whether or not your client has a disc issue or osteoarthritic changes of their spine and or spinal stenosis, the first and most important thing you want to do is help your clients better ABC: align, breathe, and control. In other words, better align their thoracolpelvic cylinder, develop a better strategy for creating three-dimensional breathing, because that's essentially what decompresses the thoracolpelvic cylinder and creates the proper stability as well as mobility of the thoracolpelvic cylinder, so the thorax, the spine, as well as the pelvis and hip complex. And then control. Use the right strategy to use their core muscles appropriately to align and control the thoracolpelvic cylinder. Tomorrow we'll talk more about, in part 4, we'll talk more about the plank and how plank actually creates a lot of low back issues and perpetuates a lot of low back issues. However, for now, just understand that your priority when you're working with clients that have disc issues, spinal osteoarthritis, and or spinal stenosis is to help them better align, breathe, and control, and it starts at the thoracolpelvic cylinder. And that's important because what we want to do is start out training our clients in how to find and control their most optimal and efficient neutral alignment, where the thorax is positioned over top of their pelvis. So generally speaking, we start with our release work. So our corrective exercise strategy starts with release work first. Then we do our happy baby breathing. So that's where the client is lying on their back. We've demonstrated that pattern multiple times on Integrative Movement Insider, so you're familiar with that. And then we teach our clients how to maintain that alignment as they move their legs or move their shoulders. So that way they're learning how to align and control the thoracolpelvic cylinder and then move their limbs. Once we progress our client to the upright position, which we'll talk about next, then we'll teach our clients how to move either through a hip hinge or squat type pattern. So we find the pattern that works best for our clients, and then we train that position. And what we want to do is train them with resistance that helps them develop alignment and control in the upright position. So we're going to demonstrate the chop pattern. Chop pattern is one of the most functional patterns you can do with your clients, one of the best positions to start training the core in the upright position. So we use a cable chop with a hip hinge, which we really like for those clients that do well with a hip hinge pattern. And then we'll use a chop pattern with a dumbbell to demonstrate how we integrate that into more of a squat type pattern. Again, your clients should do or progress to each pattern, but choose the one that your client uses or performs the best. So that way they best align, they best breathe, they best control. So I'll step away from the camera and notice how I set myself up to begin with. I'll align my thoracolpelvic cylinder first before I ever engage with the resistance, so that way I know I'm set first. So that way you help your clients set their position first and then maintain that position as they're doing their chopping motion. So I'll step away and demonstrate that next. So if you notice, I set my TPC up, that thoracolpelvic cylinder, first, prior to engaging the motion. So that way, I ensure that I'm in my best alignment, my most optimal alignment, before I ever begin the pattern. So that way, you can help your client learn how to establish that alignment and control that they ultimately need, because that's a strategy that will help them take that into everyday life. Because what you're really training in your clients is their ability to create awareness around what their most optimal and efficient neutral alignment is, and then how to train that, how to teach their body how to move appropriately through their hips while maintaining alignment and control of the thoracolpelvic cylinder, how to move their limbs independent of the thoracolpelvic cylinder. So they're really learning how to align, breathe, and control. They're really learning how to decompress their trunk, spine, pelvis, and hip complex. So they're decreasing chronic tightness, oftentimes decreasing that chronic discomfort, and more efficiently moving towards accomplishing their health and fitness goals. And that's how you become that go-to expert, the specialist that your clients need, want, and your potential clients will seek out. This is Dr. Evan Osar. I really appreciate you guys watching and tuning in. Now in part 4, as I mentioned, later this week, Janice and I will be flying to Dallas to teach this weekend, and we'll be sharing these exact same principles, alignment, breathing, and control, to that audience in Dallas. On Thursday, I'm going to share a video with you, a very special video, because so many of us do the plank pattern with our clients. It is a really awesome pattern when done properly. However, the way many of our clients are doing the plank pattern, it's actually creating and perpetuating chronic low back tension, as well as hip, neck, and shoulder issues as well. So I'm going to demonstrate how most people get taught how to plank, and then how you can make simple modifications to make the plank pattern much more effective. Take chronic stress off the neck, shoulders, as well as the low back and hip complex, and help your clients actually improve their posture when they're doing or as they're doing the plank pattern. And we also have a special end of the summer sales special coming up later this week as well. So stay tuned for that as well. Make it a great day, keep serving your clients, and we'll see you next time at Integrative Movement Insider. Take care.